Hello everybody and welcome to this particular short video around adapted sport. We're very excited to have a collaboration with Adapted Sport and the Inclusion Club moving forward, particularly looking at adaptive equipment. And I've got Jennifer Wong from Adapted Sport on the line right now from Germany. Is that right, Jennifer?
Yes, I'm here in Germany, Bonn, Germany.
In Bonn.
Yeah,
Because I'm assuming you work there at the IPC, is that correct?
yes, it is. I'm actually working for the new Agitos Foundation. So we're the development arm of the IPC.
Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, excellent. Well, in this, we're going to talk a little bit here about the collaboration and what adapted sport is all about. Now, can you give us a bit of a background and the aims of adapted sport? Why was it? How did it come about?
Sure. So I was studying a master's in adaptive physical activity in Belgium, and one of my colleagues and I, we were humming and hawing about sort of the positives and negatives and the challenges of adapting physical activity, and we kept coming across the same challenge of equipment. So before I did my master's, I spent some time in Trinidad and Tobago working with disability sport programs across the Caribbean. But the biggest challenge I found was that you couldn't find any sort of adapted equipment to run programs. And I mean, equipment isn't the most essential part of a program, but it still really can help to include people of different abilities altogether. So for us, we just thought if we can come up with a platform where we can share these ideas and different practitioners can highlight some of the things that they've done and we can share some of our ideas, we can grow the field a little bit more.
Now assuming Jennifer, I'm assuming in the Caribbean, there wasn't. You had to use local equipment, local facilities, and there. I'm guessing there wasn't a lot of sort of new and especially adapted equipment there. That's very much a philosophy, isn't it, of adapted sport, that you use what is there.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So yeah, when I was down in Trinidad, I was running some programs that incorporated multiple impairments together, and it was sometimes difficult to find balls that had rattles or hearing devices. So I just took to started making things from hand because I worked for an NGO, so we didn't have a lot of financial backing either. So yeah, that's sort of where it all started. Get the creativity turning,
Yeah.
and in the end, I think we come up with a lot of great ideas that are pretty cost friendly.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. Yeah, I'm guessing you did the same masters, pretty much the same masters I did about 20 years ago when I did mine. There, but I think it's actually the same one, which is quite nice, isn't it? It's quite good that have this liaison now. Why do you think then adaptive? Why do you think adaptive equipment is so important, or when is it important to have look at equipment as a means to facilitate inclusion?
Well, as I said at the beginning, it isn't essential. You can do a lot of sports and a lot of games without having equipment, but sometimes having a special piece of equipment can allow somebody to participate in the same way as their peers. For example, if you want to play a game with a ball like bowling, but you have someone who has a visual impairment, it's difficult for them to join in the same activity as their peers. But having a sound maker inside the ball can really make a huge difference for them joining the game.
And do you think it's sometimes the simplest ideas, little simple things are often work the best? Doesn't have to be the most complex adaptation or technical requirement. It's often the simple things that work.
Yeah, well, that's what we found when we started looking for adapted sport equipment online. You'd always find things that were extremely expensive or really complicated. And in the end, most, even practitioners and teachers that are working in North America and in Europe who have access to order things online or buy from a distributor, they still don't necessarily have the financial means to do that. So what we were trying to do is make it more accessible, make ideas accessible so that people can make what they need themselves, because they don't often always need the same equipment week after week, day after day, but you can make something small and inexpensive that can help include your students just for the one lesson or the two lessons, and then maybe you don't even need to use it again.
Yeah. I think that really is a good approach that you've got there, because I think that's what makes it inclusive, really. If we were preaching about purchasing expensive adapted equipment and looking at specialist equipment all the time, then we'd be talking to a very small market indeed.
Yes, definitely. And I think that's one of the reasons why some of the adaptive equipment is quite difficult to purchase, because the market is quite small.
Yeah, for sure. Brilliant. Thanks, Jenny. We're also going to interview Sean as well in this episode as well, but I just wanted to, it was great to catch up with you and to start this collaboration between Adaptive Sport and the Inclusion Club as well. So brilliant to meet up here, and we look forward to working with you a lot more, and good luck with all the work you're doing there over in Bonn as well.
Well, thank you very much. It was great to finally catch up and meet you. Heard a lot about you, and looking forward to the future.
Great. Thanks, Jenny.